Wait for a minute. Arjit Hanse, Anamitra Bhattacharya, John Shaurab, Abhishek Singh, Devika,
Present, ma'am.
Nerissa, Nikita Nayak,
Present, ma'am.
Pranjal, Shatabdi, Shaurajyoti, Sneha, Adeline,
Present, ma'am.
Hirabdi,
Present, ma'am.
Debraj, Megha, Sylvia,
Present, ma'am.
William, Krishnakoli,
Present, ma'am.
Shagnik, Rajonna, Ishan,
Present, ma'am.
Arshika, Shubham, Shobhik Bishwas,
Present, ma'am. Shubham, present, ma'am.
okay. Bidisha, Shobhik Bishwas, are you present? No. Rohit, Deboshree, Doipayon.
Present, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am, Devoshi present.
Okay. Doipayon, Lucy,
Present, miss.
Mridula,
Present, miss.
Ankit, okay. Ankit,
Present, ma'am.
Shoumodip,
Present, ma'am.
Anjana,
Present, ma'am.
Kanupriya, Rohan,
Ma'am, Kanupriya present.
okay. Rohan, Momita, Momita Majumdar, Bhashar, Rishabh,
Yes, ma'am.
Rishabh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Mehuli,
Present, ma'am.
Srimoyi,
Present, ma'am.
Orojyoti, Atrey,
Present, ma'am.
Ognibha,
Present, ma'am.
Aditi,
Present, ma'am.
Aratrika, Joydeep, okay. As you know, we are very close to our NSEM exam. So that is why I want to take today's class for 1.5 hours. Nerissa. Just a minute. Wait. Anyone who is absent, whose attendance has not been taken?
Ma'am, I
Anyone?
replied it is late, but I said that I am present.
What's your name?
Adeline, ma'am.
Okay, Adeline is present. Anyone else?
Ma'am, Megha.
Megha. Oh, wait. Megha. Okay. Anyone left? Okay, so today I want to take your class for 1.5 hours so that I can finish. Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in my last class I told that I have finished the syllabus, but then after Khirabdi informed me that yes, some of my syllabus is left actually. So today I want to finish all those so that actually I can finish my syllabus. So let me share my screen. A part of the input market is not done. Yes. So I don't know whether it is very, no, it is okay. If you have, I think all of you are staying in your home, so you have Pindak and Rubenfeld, just open this diagram from your Pindak and Rubenfeld, it is there with this heading, that equilibrium in competitive factor market. That portion I didn't discuss. So what happened, look, this is the factor market. So in the factor market, you have one supply curve and one demand curve. Now you know what is the demand curve of the factor. It is nothing but the MRPL, where labor is your factor. Okay. And what is the supply curve? Supply curve is the average expenditure curve, as we know already in my last class. So from there we are having the equilibrium, and from equilibrium you have equilibrium wage and equilibrium labor employment. Okay, so this is the case of the competitive output market. But as it is only this part is in your syllabus, so you can concentrate only in this diagram, but just for advancement or just to make a comparison, I am trying to show you the next diagram. This is the case where it is imperfect competition, okay, which is actually in our next sem. So there your supply curve is same as before, but here what happened, there are two MRPL. Look, this is the MRPL in general, and this is the MRPL for the perfectly competitive market. That means this is here. Okay, this curve is here. So here what is the speciality? Your MR is replaced by price. And as price is actually average revenue, which is more than marginal revenue, that is why that has been discussed already, but still I'm repeating it. So this is the MRPL curve under perfect competition, and this is the MRPL curve under imperfect competition. So if we are, as we are thinking that, okay, this is the imperfect market, so this is our equilibrium, the general MRPL and the supply curve. So from there you are getting the equilibrium wage and equilibrium labor employment. Now this is for the comparison. If there is perfect competition, okay, if there is perfect competition, the same amount of labor employed, they will get more wage than imperfect competition. Okay, so this is how you can say that perfectly competitive output market is good as compared to imperfectly competitive output market. And it is also quite easy to understand, because under the imperfect competition you have some control over the output market. You can control the price, you can do something with your output production, and that is why the producers are giving lesser wage to the labor as compared to the perfectly competitive farm. So for the farm or for the labor, for any of the inputs, this is the situation that they may get higher return if it is the perfectly competitive output market as compared to the imperfectly competitive output market. Okay, so this is the equilibrium. For the time being, this is our diagram. This is the supply curve, this is the demand curve, this is the equilibrium. So equilibrium input price and the equilibrium input employment. Okay, so we need only this diagram. This is not required for the time being, but this is only for the comparison, which one is good. Now this is economic rent. That part is also left. So what is economic rent? Okay, just before that, do you have any problem with this diagram? All of you have this diagram in your Pindak and Rubenfeld. Here the diagram is very hazy. If you have any problem to see that, you can open your book and check there. So tell me if you have any problem from this slide. Okay. I think you don't have any problem. Now the economic rent. What is economic rent? Economic rent is the difference between the actual payment made to a factor of production and the minimum price of the factor of production to have it. Okay. For example, look, this is the supply curve. Okay, this is the supply curve of the factor, and this is the demand curve of the factor. So what is the supply curve? What the supply curve is showing, all of you know. This is they are asking the minimum price. Okay, if this amount of labor is supplied, they need this as the minimum wage. So this is their expectation that okay, if this much of wage is given, then I will employ this much of labor. If wage is more, then I will employ this much of labor. Okay, this is how they are thinking, and so the supply curve is like this. Okay, and based on the demand curve, their equilibrium is at A. Now, given that equilibrium, the wage rate is W star. So this amount of labor, this amount of labor, this amount of labor, they are all getting W star. But this is something more than their expectation. W star is more than their expectation. Okay, their expectation is represented by the supply curve, and their actual payment is represented by this dotted line. So up to this A, all of the labor force except this L star, before L star, all the labor forces, they are getting all the labor hour. Okay, they are getting more wage than their expectation. So what is that more? How much more they are getting? This is called economic rent. Okay, so W, this is actually this area. You can say just like the producer surplus, right? The area below the price, above the supply curve. So it's just like the producer surplus, but it is not the producer, it's the factor of production. So you cannot say it's the producer surplus. The name is economic rent. Okay, any problem with the economic rent? Any problem with economic rent? No. Okay. So this is the rent for land. What is the speciality of land? Actually, for the land, the supply is fixed. Okay, you cannot increase the supply of land then and there. More demand means more supply. That you cannot do. The supply of land is fixed for a time period. So that is why this is the supply curve of land. Okay. So you know, this is if it is the supply curve and the normal demand curve is here. So if there is a demand curve and there is a supply curve, okay. So this is the supply curve of land, and you have the normal demand curve. So you have equilibrium, definitely. So that equilibrium is showing the rent. Now the reward of the land is called rent. The reward of the labor is called wage. Similarly, the reward of the land is called rent. So here you are getting, this is the rent, say R1. Okay, so R1 is your rent. Now as the supply is fixed, so this is the area. Look at my pointer. Look at my pointer. This is the total area. Okay, this rectangle is the economic rent, because you know rent means the area above the supply curve, below the price. Okay, so here it is above the supply curve means the area left of the supply curve. So it is here, and this is the rent. So this total rectangle is the economic rent. Okay, this total area is the economic rent. Now, if the demand has increased, say it is increased to here, so your equilibrium has shifted, the rent is increased, the price of the land is increased. So here the total, whatever increase in your rent, the rate of reward of the land, this is the rent. Okay, so this is the speciality of the land. So land is getting a lot of economic rent as compared to other factors. Why? Because its supply is perfectly inelastic. Okay. So I have finished my part for the input market finally, I think so. And this part is left actually. This is, thank you Kirabdi, as you have mentioned, I just forgot. That is why I didn't discuss this. This is again, these diagrams are also taken from the Pindyck and Rubenfeld. This is what? This is actually the intervention part. In case of perfect competition, we have discussed about the short run equilibrium, long run equilibrium, shutdown point, break-even point, supply curve, derivation of the supply curve in the short run and in the long run. Yes, quasi-rent in your syllabus. Okay. So we have discussed all this, but now we are going to discuss what will happen in the perfectly competitive market if there is any intervention. Definitely the intervention is coming from the government side. Okay. And all of you know what are the instruments of the intervention. It may be the price ceiling, it may be the price flooring, tax, subsidy. These are all intervention. So we will discuss one by one what will happen if these are there. So first of all, the minimum wage. Okay. And you know, minimum wage is actually a type of price flooring, right? Minimum wage is an example of price flooring. Now, to have effective price flooring, the minimum wage should be above the equilibrium wage. And it is here. It is here. The minimum equilibrium wage is P naught and the minimum wage is P min. Okay. Now look at this P min. It's the minimum wage, or you can say it's a minimum price. I mean, don't write it wage, just a minute. Wait for a minute. Okay. So this is here, the minimum price. So the price minimum is above the equilibrium wage. So it is effective, all of you know that. Now what happened? Initially, what about the consumer? Initially, the consumer was paying P naught. Now the consumer is paying P min. Definitely, it is not good for the consumer. The loss of consumer surplus is A and B. Okay. So minus A minus B. This is the change of the consumer surplus. Now, what about the producer? Producer initially was receiving P naught. Now the producer is receiving P min. So C is the loss. Okay. C is the loss. He cannot get that C right now. And one more. What is that? That is the, if the price is P mean, he can produce Q2, right? At the price P mean, he can produce Q2. So what is the cost? What is the cost to produce Q2? The cost is the total area below the supply curve up to Q2, right? This, my, my pointer is showing the area below the supply curve up to Q2. This is the total cost of production of Q2. Okay. So that he can produce, but he cannot produce it. Why? Because the demand is Q3. Okay. So the demand is Q3. So he is producing Q2, but he cannot sell it. As the demand is Q3, he has to sell Q3. So Q2 minus Q3, this is the loss for the producer, right? Q2 minus Q3, which he can produce, and actually he is producing, but he cannot sell as there is less demand. This is the loss for the producer. So how to measure the loss? The loss can be measured in terms of cost, which he has already incurred. So what is the cost which he has done but cannot recover? What is that? This is this area. Look, this is marked as D. Actually, the area below the supply curve for the output level Q2, Q3. Okay. So for this range Q2, Q3, the area below the supply curve, this is the cost which he has done but he cannot recover it because of the loss of demand, because of the less demand. Okay, so this is his loss D. So what is the loss of the producer? The loss is C and D. And what is the gain? A. Right? So look, first of all, for the consumer side, it's a net loss, A and B. Of this loss, A is going to the producer. But for the producer, the loss is B, C and D. So this is the loss of the producer, C and D. In exchange of that, he is getting A. But the consumer is losing A and B. So from the consumer side, B is coming as the net loss. From the producer side, C and D, these are coming as the net loss. So what is the change in welfare? Minus B, minus C, minus D. Okay, so this is the effect of minimum price imposition. Okay, minus B, minus C, minus D. That B is the loss from the consumer side. C and D, these are the loss from the producer side. Any problem with this diagram? Any problem with this diagram? Do you have any query with this diagram? This is the diagram taken from Pindyck and Rubenfeld. Okay. If you have any problem, you are free to ask.
It's clear, ma'am.
Okay. So here comes the price support. Price support is another process which sometimes government is using. For example, that is basically used in the agricultural sector. Sometimes government is saying that, okay, the price, look, here the initial price is P naught. And basically in the agricultural sector, you know the market of potato, you know the market of different grains, food grains. The price for the farmer is very low. So they're facing problem. They cannot cover their cost even. So that is the problem. Now, government is watching that, okay, P naught is such a price. So government is saying that, okay, I am increasing the price. I'm increasing the price and the support price is PS. Okay, which is greater than P naught. So this is also the price flooring. So government is asking to pay PS, not P naught. But look, again that problem will arise. The producer will produce a lot like this. The producer will produce this much which he cannot sell, and that will be the loss of the producer. In that case, government is saying, don't worry, the excess production which you will do, this excess production, I will purchase. Government will purchase it. That is called government procurement. And basically, this is done in the agricultural sector. So government is saying that the problem is that excess supply, right? So I will purchase it. So my demand curve will shift from here to here. Okay, no issue. So this is what they have done. The individual demand curve is D1, D, and government is purchasing that QS amount so that the new demand curve is D plus QS. So at the price PS, the new equilibrium is also here. So it is not the problem of excess supply, excess demand and all. Okay, so market is clear. It is where government is clearing the market. Fine. So to do that, what is the, again, we have to check the welfare effect now. So here, the individual consumer, they were paying P naught and now they are paying PS. So again, for the consumer, the loss is A and B. Okay, just like before. For the producer, initially the producer is getting P naught. Now the producer is getting PS. And he can sell with QS, this is not a problem to him now, okay, because demand is sufficient according to the supply. So he is getting this, he is selling this quantity at the price PS. So what is the gain to the producer? Just a minute. Okay. So what is the gain to the producer? A, B, C. Sorry, A, B, D. Initially he was receiving P naught. Now he is receiving PS. So the area, the new area for the producer is A, B, and D. Okay. Now A and B, these are given by the consumer and it is received by the producer. But the D, what about D? D is received by the producer. Who is giving D? D is given by the government. Okay, because this amount is purchased by the government. Now, what is the money government is spending total? The total money government is spending, this is the price PS, and he is purchasing this quantity. So quantity into price, this is the total expenditure of the government. That means this total area. Okay, this rectangle, look, this rectangle is, that means PS into QS minus Q1. This is the total area which is actually the government spending. Now out of this spending, producer is receiving D. What about the rest? This. What about this expenditure? No one is receiving it. Okay, so government expenditure is lot more as compared to the producers received. So that is how, again, the loss. What is the loss? This total area. Look, this total area is the loss. Actually, the total rectangle minus B minus D. So the loss of the welfare, you can say, welfare loss is the total area, this total rectangle minus B minus D, because B and D, these are actually, no. I'm very sorry. This total area minus D. Okay. This total area minus D. Because that B is actually given by the consumer and it is received by the producer. So again, government is giving that B. But now there is no one to receive that B. So this total area, this total rectangle minus D is the net welfare loss for this type of price support. Okay. Any problem from this diagram?
Ma'am, can the government do so that it can only pay the additional price, that is D, that PS minus P0 into QS minus Q1, so that
PS minus P0 minus QS Q1. Yes.
the economic welfare loss is not occurred.
No, how can he give this? Q1 minus QS.
Multiplied by PS minus P naught.
PS minus P naught.
Yes.
No, if that will be given, no, this is not possible, first of all, because if that will be given, that PS will not exist. That PS minus, if government is giving PS minus P naught, then price will be here. PS minus P naught, it will be like this. That is the PS minus P naught. So support price will fall down. You have to maintain PS. Okay. The government is trying to maintain PS.
Okay, ma'am.
So that the farmer will receive PS, nothing less than P naught.
Okay, ma'am.
And the quantity portion is okay. What you are saying, this is the actual thing. That is QS minus Q1. For this quantity, government is paying. But the price is PS now. If government is not giving PS, then that price will automatically fall down to here. So this is not possible. Government has to pay PS to maintain that price. Okay, to give the protection to the farmer. But ultimately, the net loss is huge. So you know now that any type of intervention is not good for the welfare perspective. Anyway, this is the price support. Now, the production quota. You are thinking, okay, price support is giving a lot of problems. So let me go to the production quota. What about the quota? Now look, in case of quota, what government is saying? Government is saying that you cannot supply more than Q1. The same Q1, okay? that same Q1 is coming here, the same Q1 is here also. So here it is Q3 actually, but the same quantity, government is saying that okay, you cannot supply more than Q1. So there is a restriction on quantity supply. Okay. Now what happened? First of all, how can you say the producer that you cannot supply more than Q1? You have to give some support to the producer. The government has to give some support to the producer so that producer is bound to supply at Q1, right? Otherwise, he will make some problem. Okay, he will agitate and all this. So he is not happy with that. That why, if I have the capacity, then why should I produce Q1? Why not more than that? So you have to give him some support. Okay, and what is the support? Support is the price. Okay, I will give you the rest of the money. You will be happy with the money, but government is giving money to the producer so that he will produce at Q1. Look, what will happen? If the supply is Q1, that means your supply curve is perfectly inelastic, then the equilibrium is here. Now, initially the equilibrium price was P naught. Now the equilibrium price is here. I can't understand what is that. Okay, say it is P1. So if it is P1, so for the consumer side, the situation is identical. Huh? Consumer loss is the consumer surplus loss is minus A minus B. Okay, this is the change in consumer surplus, minus A minus B. But what about the producer? C is the loss of the producer. Okay, C is the loss of the producer, no issue. And B is the loss because B is not received by the producer now. B is the loss of the consumer, but it is not received by the producer. A is also the loss of the consumer, but now it is received by the producer. What about D? D is the money paid to the producer. Okay, because look at the price P1, producer can produce up to this. You are asking the producer not to produce, but you have to give some support to the producer. So you are giving the money. Okay, the government is giving the money of that much. This is something related with the Ishan's concept. Government is giving the money of this much to the producer so that D is not the problem of the producer. Okay, so producer is getting so this much of surplus. So for that quantity, he is getting this much of money. This area, this triangle. It's a measured amount of money. But what about the net welfare change? So producer is getting D. Producer is getting A. Producer is losing C. Okay. So what is the net change? Minus C, minus B. Okay. And D is actually given by the government and it is received by the producer. So D is not a problem. But again, there is a loss. Net welfare loss is B and C. Okay. So this is the production quota. Problem from this diagram?
Will not there be a problem of full employment if there is a restriction on supply?
Yes, the unemployment issue is always there, but government is not concerned about the unemployment issue here. Government is trying to give support to the producer. Government is trying to restrict the quantity. Here the objective is this.
Okay, ma'am.
Look, any type of intervention is a problem. But here it depends on the objective. What is the need of the particular sector? Now comes the tax. Tax part is very easy to understand because we have discussed a lot about the tax already. Now you know in your SEM 1 you have discussed a lot tax. So if the tax is imposed, so this is the tax rate, small t. If this is the tax rate, so this is the price, the new price. Initially P naught is the price, but this is the new price to the consumer and this is the new price to the producer. The difference is going to the government. Okay, so here as the consumer is facing this price other than this, so the loss of the consumer is A and B. Initially, the price for the producer is this. Now the producer is getting this price. So loss of the producer is D and C. Okay. So A, B, C, D. These are the losses for the producer and consumer. Okay. Now, of this total loss, A and D, these are going to the government as a tax revenue, because the difference between these two prices is the tax rate and this is the quantity sold. Okay, so this quantity into the tax, that is the total revenue to the tax government. So A and D, these are going to the government. But what about B and C? This is the loss. So in the perfectly competitive market, in the perfectly competitive market, your demand and supply curve is like this. Huh? So in this case also, A and D is not the loss. B and C, these two triangles are the loss. B is the loss because some of the consumers are leaving the market because the price is higher than before. Okay. And C is the loss from the producer side, because as the price is falling, some of the producers are also leaving their market. So C is the loss of those. Okay, this is the change of producer surplus of those producers, and this is the consumer surplus of those consumers. So this is how you are getting B and C. Okay, so if there is a tax, then also there is net welfare loss, B and C. If subsidy, okay, we are not happy with the tax, then we are going for subsidy. Then what about the subsidy? Now, if subsidy is given, say this amount of subsidy is given. Say this amount of subsidy is given by the government. Then this is the price to the consumer. Okay. And this is the price to the producer. So both sides are very happy. Initially the price was P0. Now P1 is the price to the consumer, which is lesser than before. So he is very happy. And producer is also getting more price than before. So he is also very happy. So both sides are happy. But what about the welfare? Look, this is the net gain. My pointer is showing this is the net gain to the consumer surplus. Okay, this is the net gain of the consumer. The increase in consumer surplus is this much. Okay, this is the change of consumer surplus. Okay, now what about the producer? This is the increase in producer surplus. This is the increase in producer surplus. Okay, this is the increase in producer surplus. And what is the government expenditure? Government expenditure, for as it is the subsidy, so government has to spend. So the total quantity is this. So Q1 into S, that means this total rectangle is the government expenditure. Okay, for the subsidy. This is the total government subsidy to the economy. So this is the expenditure by the government. Of this area is received by the producer. This area is received by the consumer. But what about this triangle? What about this triangle? It is given by the government, but it is not received by the producer and consumer. So it is the net loss. Okay, so it is the net loss. Again, for the subsidy, the welfare loss is there. Okay, so now ask your question. I think I have finished. Kirabdi, what do you think? Anything left? Anyone? Check your syllabus and ask me. Yes.
Ma'am, the effects of taxes on perfect competition in the short and long run is left, I guess. The ad valorem tax and the specific tax and all.
Oh. Oh. For that, I need to draw the diagram. Just a minute. I have to draw the diagram. How can I? Okay, give me some time. Huh? Let me try. Just a minute. Let me try. Just a minute. What? Okay. Here also I have to draw a diagram for the farm and for the industry. Okay. Done. Now in the industry, this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve. Okay. Now given that here is an equilibrium price and this price is given to the farm. So for the farm, if it is a long run situation, then for the farm, this is the LSE and this is the LMC curve. Okay. There is no tax. Now the tax is imposed. Now when the tax is imposed, then what will happen? Look, so the tax is ad valorem tax. So your total cost will be like initial, okay, TC dash, so total, the new total cost is the initial total cost plus Q, that is the quantity sold, into small t. Okay, this is your ad valorem tax. Fine. Now if it is, then what is your average cost? The new average cost. The new average cost is your initial average cost, C dash. The new average cost is the initial average cost, that is the AC plus Q, because it is the total cost divided by the quantity sold, right? So that will be divided by small q. Okay. Now what is your marginal cost? Because you have to shift your average cost and marginal cost. That is why you are doing this. So the new marginal cost, MC dash, is your initial MC plus I'm sorry. That should be T. Why it is T? Q. That's this is wrong, huh? It is T. This is T. So your new average cost is your initial average cost plus T. Your new MC is the old capital MC, that is the initial MC plus small t. This is for the farm. Look, this is small q. So it is for the farm level. So in the farm level, the new average cost curve will shift by small t. And the new marginal cost will be here. Okay, so the vertical distance between the MC curves and the AC curves is small t. What about the industry? In the industry, when the tax is imposed, it is like this. You know, it is shared, right? It is shared between the consumer and the producer. So this is the small t. Okay, so this is the small t. Now it's like that the supply curve has shifted. Okay, the supply curve will shift it by small t. Look, the vertical distance between the new supply curve and the, look like this. So your new supply curve will be like this. Supply will fall because the tax is imposed in the industry, so it will fall. So new equilibrium is here. Okay, now at the new equilibrium, this is the price to, look, this is the price to the farm. Okay, now the farm is producing this much. Okay, initially the farm was producing here, now the farm is producing this. Now as the prices increase to the farm, it is the profit. So the new farms will enter, the supply will increase further, right? The the price is increased to the existing firm, so this is a profit to the firm. So then in the long run, the new firms will enter, and if the new firms are entering, the supply curve is shifting again like this. Okay, let me change the color. Okay, so given this new supply curve, the price which will be given to the existing firm is this. Okay, so it's a loss now. Now, as it is the loss, so the firms will leaving the market. Okay, and when they will leave, ultimately you are getting the equilibrium here. Okay, so this is the effect of the ad valorem tax. Is it okay? Ad valorem tax or unit tax? If you have any problem here, you can ask. Do you have any problem here? You are not talking. Okay, if it is a lump sum tax, then new total cost is TC, that is the initial total cost, plus capital T. Okay, lump sum, it is independent of the quantity sold. So this is the thing. Now average cost, look, average cost, the new average cost will be your initial average cost plus capital T divided by Q. Okay, so average cost will fall. Average cost will increase. Sorry, average cost will increase. What about the marginal cost? Tell me. Now I am asking you the question. What will be the new marginal cost here? Bolo. What will be the new marginal cost?
Ma'am, it should be like MC only.
Yes. So marginal cost curve will not shift here. Your average cost curve will shift upward, but the marginal cost curve will be unchanged. There will be no change in MC. Okay. Now what is the equilibrium condition? Equilibrium condition is MC is equal to MR, that is price. So as your MC is unchanged, then your equilibrium point is also unchanged because price is not going to change. So there will be no effect of lump sum tax on the for the farm level, but there will be definitely an effect of the ad valorem tax or the unit excise tax on the farm level. এবারে বলো আর কিছু প্রশ্ন থাকলে।
Ma'am, what is the reference for this?
I should refer Ferguson and Gold. Now look, according to the information, this is the last week of the regular class. So এটা কি? Shatabdi. Okay, so as it is the last week, and I am actually